This is my husband, Ed. I've been married to him for 17 years now.
The business that I was in was the insurance business for 27 years. I worked with a company called IRS and was one of the top producers, and was the top producer for several years, probably like 20 years.
I too have been with AFLAC for 26 years and in insurance sales and management. Also a top producer.
We've been leaders, we've been trainers, we've done every aspect of sales that we know of today, and done it quite successfully. We met a very dear friend of ours one day for lunch, and he was explaining to us how that he was able to do his taxes in such a way that he could get more refund than normal. So we listened to him very carefully, and we felt like that was the right thing to do, and it sounded lawful. So we decided that we would do it together. They were well-educated people. They were nice people making a good living for their families.
We had financial advisors, we had ex-CEOs of companies, we had doctors, we had CPAs. We had a full gamut of professional people, plus just families, friends, and neighbors. We went along for several years and no problem. And one Saturday, we're in our yard working, and I look up, and here comes a sea of men in black suits that came up to me and said, "I'm a federal marshal." I've never been so shocked in my life. I didn't know what on earth to do.
Criminal charges was basically against me. Mentally, I was preparing myself to go to prison because that's the only thing that we heard. We had no one on the other side that was telling us what the possibilities would be and what the sentence would be and so forth. Like, it was just kind of a done deal that I was going to do it. So I was getting ready mentally and to face that time in prison.
The prosecutors felt like because we were having meetings in our home, we must be promoting some scheme or some scam and getting a kickback on it, which of course nothing could have been further from the truth. I went to the internet and I started looking for tax attorneys, and Michael Minn's law firm came up. The gentleman that had told us about this process told us, "I don't know if I ever get in trouble and I could afford it, Michael Minn's would be the person I would go to." And I called and we couldn't get an answer. Of course, it was Sunday. So I also tried another attorney and let it go at that. And I had called Mr. Minn's, not called, but had requested an appointment on the internet. Well, the next person I called back, and I told him that we had already made an appointment for the next morning, and that we felt like we would honor that. And he said, "Well, if you don't mind, may I ask who that was?" And I said, "Well, yes, that's Michael Minn's." And he said, "Well, ma'am, you couldn't be in better hands than Michael Minn's. We've never been so terrified in our whole life." And we were greeted by a very warm and professional staff, Michael and Miss Arnett, and Mr. Minn's just took control of the situation, and he walked us to the car, and he told us, "I don't want you to worry about a thing. I have your back, and you two go and enjoy your holiday season." And I cannot even tell you what that meant to us, that he had shepherded us through this and was nurturing and comforting and reassuring. What that meant to two people who were just scared out of their skins, over this.
Michael had come to talk to some person with the IRS, and they had decided that they would not prosecute me as a person, which was
said they wouldn't prosecute you.
And that of course was a big burden lifted off me, because I could not stand to think that Cheryl would be out here by herself without anybody to take care of her.
I don't know. Ed would probably be in prison because the man that got us in all of this is in prison. He's just finished serving his third year of 15.
I think the warmth and the fellowship that we felt with Michael, that we could open up and talk to him about us, how we felt and what we were afraid of and what we feared. And he understood, and he walked with us.
Every step of the way. And he counseled us, and when we'd call, he'd reassure us. And maybe everyone doesn't need that, but we needed it. It's very emotional for us, even today, years removed. I do not know how we would have gotten through it without Michael Menz. But now on the other side of this, I can tell you that if anyone out there finds themselves in a situation like ours, or any situation that requires an attorney that's beyond an attorney, call the Menz Law Firm.
And through it all, he really was our friend.
And still is.